Hello, everybody. Welcome along. We have one solitary championship match tonight. Plenty going on in League One and in the Champions League as well. We're going to find out, are Southampton really back in the race for the top two? And are Preston going to kind of rejoin the race for the playoffs? We're going to be here for the next 2 hours. There's going to be plenty going on outside this and a great chance to take stock of what's going on in the second tier with just 3 rounds to go. Come and join us. Get comfortable. It is Southampton versus Preston in the watch along. Welcome along, everybody. You may or may not remember that originally this game, I don't know whether it was a midweeker or a weekend game, maybe it was a midweeker, was cancelled, wasn't it? There was a fire near the St. Mary's Stadium and all of a sudden it got put back in the calendar at this point. And I remember us all saying, oh, okay, Southampton are going to have a very, very busy run-in. That was the kind of take on it. Maybe about, 4 to 6 weeks ago, if it was even that long ago, if I'm not misremembering it. But with the goings on over the last 2 rounds where Southampton, and we'll bring the table up, have managed, I think they took 4 points out of Leicester, 5 out of Ipswich, and 6 out of Leeds over the last week, the 3-game week in the Championship. And that's where everything is kind of sat now. And really, if you're a Southampton fan, it's just about getting back in touch, isn't it? So no point looking right up at the top, although Southampton do have 2 games in hand over both Ipswich and Leeds. The reason I say that is they can really kind of control their own destiny when it comes to Leicester because they play them in 2 games' time. So you can see the size of it. Basically, Southampton have to win tonight. They would then go on to 84 points. If at the weekend, Southampton can then match whatever Leeds and Leicester do. Remember, Ipswich aren't playing at the weekend. They were due to play Coventry or in the Cup semi-final. Then Southampton would go into the game against Leicester, which is another standalone Tuesday night appearance for Southampton. They're all on their lonesome in this running with these games in hand. Then they would be guaranteed, if they beat Leicester, to draw level on points with Leeds, assuming they've matched them at the weekend, and they would be a point behind Leicester in the game in hand. Obviously, then would be gone for everybody. And then we get this weird situation where Ipswich will then end up having the game in hand in terms of their 3-game week at the end of the season. As it pertains to Preston, really bad result for Preston at the weekend. They're at home to Norwich, and as you can see, it's the worst team they could possibly have lost to, isn't it? It's a proper 6-pointer. That had Preston won, it would be Norwich 68, Preston 66. But as it happened, Norwich got the win at Deepdale, which makes it Preston 63, Norwich 71. So it's a long way back in terms of the playoffs for Preston. They do, of course, along with Coventry and Hull, have a game in hand against Norwich. Norwich's fixtures look all right, don't they? I think Bristol City, Swansea at home, and then Birmingham away for Norwich. So it does feel like with those fixtures, if any one of Hull, Coventry, or Preston with the games in hand, just counting Middlesbrough a second because they don't have a game in hand, any of those sides are going to get close to Norwich. I think they need to win all their games, don't they? Preston, a win tonight would take them to 66, be 5 points behind Norwich. The best they can put on the board is a perfect 4-game win streak, Preston, to the end of the season, which would take them to 75, which would mean Norwich would need to get something from all of their remaining 3 games. They need 1 win as well, wouldn't they, to get onto the 4-point total that would probably do in terms of the goal difference there. So that's about the size of it. Let's say some hellos in the chat. Who we got here? Liam, Tom, Ewan, Marek. Happy about Hull. And here, we're about to get on to that. Big action tonight in League One at top and bottom. We could have some relegations and some promotions tonight. Cameron, so nervous about tonight. I'm still set on playoffs, but part of the hope is still there. Dave, welcome. Graham, welcome. Hold your predictions. Clive, welcome to you. And Wayne, too. Really pleased to see everybody here on a cold, wet Tuesday. Actually, it's all right in Bedfordshire. It's hello to Robert as well. Look, a Blackpool fan. Missing the fun in the Championship. We'll be back. I'm sure you will be back. Before we go any further into the action, I want to talk a bit about League One too. As ever, we're sponsored by Match Bingo. And the lone game on Match Bingo tonight is Southampton versus Preston. So I am going to purchase a card right now. It's going to cost me £2. And we'll play along as we go. If I hit view on my card, you can see my lovely collection, actually, because I'm playing for free on Saturday on Bingos and for free on Sunday, Crystal Palace West Ham in the Premier League. But there is my Bingos card for tonight. Sorry, my Match Bingo card for tonight. And we will play along with that. Could win 25 quid for the first line, 50 for 2 lines, 2 prizes of 100 quid for the full house potential there. You need to, if you want to help us out and maybe get your free card to ease yourself in on Bingos on Saturday or on, who was it? Palace and West Ham. Follow this here QR code and it will lead you to Match Bingo, to the app, and it will also let them know that we sent you. Remember, it's fun and games on Match Bingo, but we are gambling. So I'm going to need you to please play responsibly. This doesn't just pertain to League One tonight. It pertains to the Championship as well, because we could have our first team promoted from League One. In fact, the odds are we will have our first team promoted from League One tonight. Have a look at these fixtures here in the third tier. And the ones you need to really keep an eye on are Bolton versus Shrewsbury and Portsmouth versus Barnsley. But have half an eye if you've got any empathy in your body. Down at the bottom, you might want to keep an eye on Peterborough and Fleetwood and a massive game between Burton and Cheltenham as well. Let's bring up the table and you will see why. For you Championship fans, we could be just a couple of hours away from the return of Portsmouth, FA Cup winners. They've probably won a trophy more recently than most Premier League clubs, to be honest. They've been down in the doldrums for a long while, down in League Two for a time as well. But under John Mousinho, are they coming back? It looks very much like it. If it's not going to happen tonight, it's just a matter of time. Look, Pompey have got 91 points and 3 games remain, and they could still hit the magnificent 100 points. But that is not the issue. So tonight, Derby County do not play. They're already at round 44. Portsmouth could take Derby out of the equation, actually, tonight as well. If you look, Bolton's upside below Derby is 91. Derby's upside is 92. If Pompey win tonight, they will go to 94 and they will be champions of League One. You see, Peterborough have got 4 games to play. They can get up to 89 points. The fly in the ointment here is that Bolton play tonight against Shrewsbury. So Bolton have to win, basically. And if Pompey get themselves a point, they're up. It's one of those situations, really, where any points for Pompey and they're up. Anything less than a win for Bolton and Pompey are up. The only thing that keeps it going is a Pompey defeat at home to Barnsley. They'd stay on 91. We'd still need a Bolton win to take them to 85. But it's one of those situations where you're just counting down the days, aren't you? It's going to take every round for it to go perfectly for everybody else and as badly as it can possibly go for Pompey, or else they're going to be back. So anything tonight, keep your eyes on that game. Portsmouth versus Barnsley in League One. Barnsley are no mugs. We just bring the table back up again. They are in 5th, and they obviously got to playoff final extra time. Very, very nearly penalties, seconds away from it going to penalties last season. But does look very, very much like we are about to be receiving Portsmouth back into the Premier League. Right, who else have we got in the chat here? Jeff, welcome to you. Liam, playoffs again for MK. Is their record good or bad? I saw them losing the playoffs to Wickham. Guys, I'm not going to read your predictions out yet. Hold your thought, copy and paste them. We'll do predictions in a second. Who else haven't we heard from? We haven't heard from Marlon, who's in the concourse. You're doing well to get reception, and thank you for using it on us, Marlon. Liam, Mansfield will be promoted tonight with a point versus Accrington as well. That would be in League 2. Who else haven't we said hello to? Wayne, welcome to you. BC is going to be tough for City. Still work to do for the Canaries. Southampton 2-0 tonight. Hold your thoughts on your predictions. We will get them to you very, very soon. And you will get them into me very, very soon. Well, that's what I meant. William, come on, you Whites. Championship is a fantastic league to be in. Win, lose, or another good season for Preston. Win or lose, excuse me. Well-established club for 11 years. There you go. Who else haven't we heard from? Shoot em up. Adam Armstrong, not in the championship team of the season, is criminal. I'm not sure it's criminal. I wouldn't take it too seriously, given how the selection works. But yeah, if you were making a championship team, Adam Armstrong would either be in it or very close to it, wouldn't he? But yeah, let's not worry too much. Barnsley in terrible form. There we go. Portsmouth in the Premier League. Did I just hear? Not for a while. When Portsmouth last in the Premier League? Can't remember. Any more comments? There's Wi-Fi at St Mary's. Well, is it any good? Is all I'll say. I've been on many Wi-Fis in many football stadiums. The Pompey drummer. What is that guy's name? Someone will tell me his name. With all the tattoos and stuff. Portsmouth's so good. They're being promoted straight to the Premier League, apparently. Did I say Premier League? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. You can rewind it back and check it. Chris, hold your thoughts on your predictions. We will get there. AD, keeping an eye on Southampton. Yeah, there will be some nervous Ipswich, Leicester, and Leeds fans watching tonight. It's almost a bit of a case where probably if you're a Leicester or Leeds fan, you want nothing to do with Southampton because Southampton have got games coming up against Leicester and Leeds. Whereas if you're an Ipswich fan, maybe you nefariously actually want Southampton to win. So they're closer to Leicester and Leeds when they play both of them. You never know how it can all work out. There are the Pompey players and the Barnsley players coming out at windy Fratton Park up on my monitor. I don't know whether they're kicking off at 7:45, so we may have an idea of what is happening. Yeah, and there's Mansfield as well up on the monitor. Potentially heading up. Is that Aidan Flint leading them out? You can still find him. But the point I was trying to make is if you're an Ipswich fan, you might actually want a Southampton win tonight to give them a bit of juice, although you could be left with egg on your face if Southampton do make the gap up on everybody. Right, let's have a look at some more comments and then we will go to some team news, etc., etc. Where shall we click? Mind blown. Welcome to you. Mr. Portaloo, as an Ipswich fan, actually wants Southampton. There you go. So there will be that theory. If you're probably Leeds or a Leicester fan, you'll sort of get Southampton out the way, get them on the beach. Whereas Southampton could do Ipswich some favours given they're playing Leicester and Leeds in the last couple of games. JC, welcome. Hoping for a Blues win at the weekend. Could be a huge double, couldn't it, for Birmingham? Can they go back-to-back and beat Coventry and Rotherham? Probably going to be safe, I reckon, if they do. But ho-hum. I probably get asked this once a day. Will you still be doing the Championship checking if Ipswich go up? Yes. Ipswich went to League One. We continue doing Championship. Ipswich in the Championship. We continue doing Championship. It does not matter. There we go. Right. Shall we do some team news and then we'll do some predictions, I think. Let's have a look and see how Saints and Preston are lining up tonight. Okay. So Southampton, the home side, Gavin Bazunu in goal. Kyle Walker-Peters at right back, who is potentially one of the most highly valued players in the Championship, but he's been at left back and on the bench in recent times. We actually see him at right back tonight. Taylor Harwood-Bellis, his loan, has is it an obligation to buy or is it just an option to buy if Southampton get promoted? One or the other. There's every chance he signs for them if they go up. Jan Bednarek is Harwood-Bellis' centre-back partner. And Ryan Manning, a real Russ Martin guy, isn't he? Had him at Swansea and took him to Southampton this season. In the midfield, now I did Southampton's game against Ipswich, and I thought these three were brilliant in central midfield. And to be honest, the game only really got away from Southampton when they got split up towards the sort of final 20 minutes or so, if memory serves. Stuart Armstrong, Flynn Downs, and Joe Aribo. A little bit of everything in there. You have Aribo carrying the ball. Downs can be the the kind of fire in there, and he's no slack player, Downs. Stuart Armstrong's a superb player. Great passer of the ball. Very clever central midfielder. The front three, Jay Adams, who's been in the goals actually recently, hasn't he? I think he's got sort of 3 or 4 in his last 3 or 4, if memory serves. Adam Armstrong is permanently in the goals whenever he's anywhere near the Championship, isn't he? You'll see him ticking along the bottom there. 20 goals, I believe, Armstrong. He's one of the top scorers in the entire division. And there is David Brooks, who doesn't start too many, does he? Come in on loan from Bournemouth, is he, Brooks? Obviously, we always mention with him some real bad health issues. So great to see him back and around first team football and starting tonight in the Championship. We've got any Sheffield United fans, they'll remember Brooks coming on the scene and that famous local derby against Sheffield Wednesday. He played a blinder in that one, didn't he? Go to your comments in just a second. I can see plenty of them popping up. For Preston, in goal, Freddie Woodman, who started the season with many clean sheets. A very sturdy and robust, very championship-y back three there of Story, Lindsay, and Hughes. If you look at the head it, kick it defensive numbers, those boys do really well, I have to say. A couple of wingers actually playing at wing back. Dwayne Holmes down the right-hand side. Robbie Brady down the left. Plenty of experience there, and they'll be needed to do 2 jobs, really. Stop the likes of Brooks and Armstrong and double up with their outside centre-halves. They'll need to get forward and put crosses in. You'll see why in a minute. There is Jack Watmow and Noah Mwene is the midfield pair. Not their strongest there. We like Whiteman in that hole in central midfield. And the front three, you can probably do a bit of jiggery pokery with what Footmob are saying. Obviously, Frokjer Jensen is going to play in the 10 behind Osmajic and Jakobsen. And there'll be a handful, won't they? We'll call him Emil Rees because he wears Rees on the back of his shirt. But Jakobsen and Osmajic up top. If they can get crosses and, get them playing 1v1 with Bednarek and Harwood Bellis in a kind of physical way, we wouldn't fancy defending against those two as long as Frokje Jensen can get in the game and provide some ammo from the number 10 position. Go to comments in a sec. Let's look at the benches. And yeah, we always say this every time we do a parachute team, but enjoy the Southampton bench, put it that way. Stevens, Bree, Lumley, Rothwell, Suleimana, Fraser, Edozie, Charles, Smallbone. For Preston on the bench, Brown, Evans, Cornell, Cunningham, Siri, Best, Stewart, Ledson, and their top scorer, as you can probably see on the ticker as well, Will Keane on the bench. So we go to some comments and then we'll go to some predictions. Where should we scroll from? Let's go all the way up here. Deadly dangerous duo, I like that. Frokje and Rees. They could be really good, couldn't they? It's just a shame they're both. Well, no, they haven't both. That's not true. But Rees had 2 long injury holds, didn't he? Bazunu injured in the warm-up. Interesting. That is actually, it's not just the keeper going out, because remember the way Southampton play, everything goes through the keeper in terms of every attack starts there, doesn't it? Posh 0, Fleetwood 1. I'm going to the live league table in League One, guys. That wasn't on the agenda, was it? We were expecting Fleetwood to drop. Did we go down and have a look at the bottom? I don't think we did we? There you go. Let me bring it up. Wow, it's a big goal, that. So you can see at the moment, Fleetwood were adding on 3 points there. That will keep them in it. They could really do with Cheltenham beating Burton, even though that would put Cheltenham above Fleetwood. Burton can tick everything off tonight. Remember, a Burton win would take them to 47. And that does for the entire bottom 4, doesn't it? In fact, we've seen the goal here. In fact, Mansfield have taken the lead already. They're promoted as things stand. Sky Sports tell us. So all going on in League One. We'll try and keep up, especially as it pertains to Portsmouth. Because if we are watching this channel, we're probably interested in who's going to be in the Championship next season. Thanks for the heads up there. Another one telling me Lewis Bazunu injured in the warm-up. William, 4 of Preston's best players out. I was going to say McCann as well in central midfield with Whiteman. Been very good. Miller, Potts and Brown. I think is Brown on the bench, possibly? Oh, Bouter, Williams. Superior knowledge. Hector, welcome to you. Here to see if Southampton can crash the party. What a run-in for the top 4. We have been mooting this for a while, haven't we? Marek, why are you not watching Barca PSG? Marek, if you have to ask me that after all these years on this channel, then maybe you're in the wrong place, buddy. Lenny, only just noticed that Southampton play 4 times before Ipswich's next game. Well, you've only just noticed, but all the Ipswich fans have been studying this for blooming months, haven't we? But yes. And we had the situation as well where Leeds were going to play 4 times for 2 Ipswich games as well. So, yeah, interesting scheduling. Ian, welcome to you. Always seems to be Ian I end up with doing the plug here. But if you want that lovely symbol by the sign of your name, hit the join button. Join us down there. You can get exclusive access to my tribal columns, early access to them. You can join our wonderful WhatsApp group exclusively, and you can come and join our roundtable chats once a month. Tell me how much I suck to my face. How about that? I don't trust McCarthy, says Tom. Big job to just step in, isn't it? Although I suppose that's the gig when you're a reserve goalie. Oh, Pompey 0, Barnsley 1. Although I think I did see if I scrolled further down. Pompey equalised. There we go. It's absolutely all going on. Brummy Nathan. Evening, Ben. Be gutted if Blues go down. Love seeing the predictions every week. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for everyone who tunes in to the predictions each and every week. Been going really well, although not that I've been going really well. Sam Parkin's been destroying me, hasn't he? So, yeah, it's all going on in League One. Let me just bring the latest scores up. So, big goal for Fleetwood, which was not on the script. If we got a Cheltenham goal on top of that as well, things would get really interesting at the bottom of League One. I hate to be that guy, that spoilsport guy, though. When we get these weird early goals in these things and the table all looks like it's going a certain way, it does have a habit of revolving back round to the predictable, doesn't it? But Portsmouth won, Barnsley won, and I believe Barnsley led in that game as well. Remember, the only scenario that doesn't see Pompey up tonight is they lose and Bolton win. That is the, what's the word? The equation needed. Right. We get some predictions in then, guys. I need your predictions for Southampton v Preston. Usual job. Please write the team names in just to help me out. Otherwise, it's pretty dull. It's just a load of numbers. And you've got 16 seconds. Get your predictions in, your score predictions. If there's any stupid ones, I'll just ignore them. Don't try and be clever. It's really straightforward. Just predict the scoreline. Trying to think what I went for. I'm sure I would have gone for a Southampton win. Me and Sam would have done these like in the middle of last week. As the players come out from the channel, let's ask for your predictions. You've got 16 seconds. Saints versus Preston. Predict the score. Someone will get it right. Away you go. Right, let's see. What are you guys thinking? I'm thinking you guys are going to be heavy on Southampton, but I'm not always right. Let's have a look here. Right, here we go. Jace, 3-1 Saints. Rich, welcome, Rich. Back from Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. 3-1 Saints. Desmond there. Steve, 3-1 Saints. Sekumara. Yeah. Good job they have 7 top-class players. You got banned, didn't he? Kev, 2-1 Saints. Tom, 3-0 Saints. There you go, Robert. There's a draw. It's a Blackpool fan back in Preston there. How about that? Dave, 3-1 Saints. Lots of people going both teams to score, Saints to win by 2. Interesting. Jimmy, 3-0 Saints. Jeff with the Desmond. Look at that. If that get a bet on that, please gamble responsibly, of course. Shoot them up. You've got huge odds on that. 4-2 and an Adams hat trick. Massive odds. Wayne, 2-0 Saints. Same for Adam. Liam, 3-2. Give me these high scorers. I love it. 4-2 Saints. Anir, 4-1. 2-2 Desmond. 3-2 Preston. Wow. I will take it. 3-0 Saints. 2-1 Saints. Saints love. Yeah, I think Southampton, the most late goals in the Championship. I think Sam was saying on the check-in podcast. I think I need to click through these well quick, don't I? 2-1 Saints, Weezer. Luke, 2-1 Saints. 3-2 Preston, Nick Nack. Andy, 2-1 Preston. There's a few Preston ones in here. Peter as well, 3-2. Dave, 2-1 Saints. What else have we got? Another goal from Downs. 1-1, Pork Smith. I want to read these all out. Finney, 10, 1-0 Preston. Peanuts, 0-0. Gray Gesser, 2-1 Saints. Amy, 2-1 Saints. Right. I think we are there with all your predictions. And I think we are there about to kick off. Do me one more favour before we go. We have got, how many likes on the stream? 31. Everybody hits like at the same time. If you haven't already, we might get close to 50, mightn't we? We call this a like spot. You've got 9 seconds. Hit the like button. Go. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Remember, if you're playing Match Bingo, let me know how you're getting on. If you're watching League One and keeping across it, please get the scores down in the chat. Let us know what's going on, particularly as it pertains to Southampton's South Coast rivals, Portsmouth, who could, in the next hour and a half or so, be promoted to the Championship. The odds are they will be, but could stretch out for another round. And we are off at St Mary's. Walker-Peters was drifting nicely forward there. Just got crowded out, and Brady clears it away long. Ooh, there's Mwenny there, just caught Walker-Peters. Probably going to get booked for that. I don't see how the ref can not book him. I know it's only 45 seconds into the game, but it's a rubbish tackle, isn't it? And people complain when refs bring out the yellow card that early, but it's a horrible tackle, isn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, just right through him. Yellow card was the right call, I think, whether it's 40 seconds, 40 minutes, 94 minutes, 83 minutes, 14 minutes, whatever. Got to get the yellow card out for a tackle that is as ugly as that one from Noah Mwenny. The ball runs loose. Stuart Armstrong out to Adam Armstrong. Armstrong cuts in. He's definitely going to shoot. Deflects up and over. For a corner, Adam Armstrong loves a shot. Always comes out highly on the shots per game stats. Anywhere near the goal, he's having a shot. I'm sure his teammates know, don't they? In comes the corner. Easy gather for Freddie Woodman. Looks like Wickham have taken the lead down in League One as well. We'll try and keep across that as best as possible, okay? As the goals go in, but need help from you guys. Chasing in behind is Osmajic, who was offside. Just run through the teams as much to remind me as to remind you. It's referee Barrett, who, and I didn't think he had any choice really, has already got the yellow card out. Listen to me, back in the refs again. I'm always doing it, aren't I? Lovely switch of play there. Here's Manning. We'll do teams in a sec as Ryan Manning dribbles forward from left back for Saints. Downs into Adam Armstrong, gets it back again. Downs to Manning. Manning on the left wing. Downs again. Walker-Peters, central. Walker-Peters hits the shot. And I gave him the build-up, didn't I, Cole Walker-Peters? I love him as a player, but that was a horrible shot, wasn't it? Maybe he's still reeling from getting smashed by Noah Mwenny a minute ago. I was going to do the teams, wasn't I? There they are. For Southampton, McCarthy in goal. That's a late change, that one. Walker-Peters, Howard, Bellis, Bednarek and Manning. Aribo, Downs, Armstrong, Brooks, Adams, and the other Armstrong. Adam up front, obviously Stewart in midfield. For Preston, Woodman, Story, Lindsay Hughes, Brady Holmes, Watmow, Mwenny, Frockier, Jakobsen, and Osmajic. Mwenny in the book in, I think, about 45 seconds. The tackle went in and the yellow card came out. Aribo, 50-50 with Brady, wins the throw-in. We'll try and get some of your comments up on the screen. Posh 1-1 after Fleetwood missed the penalty too. Ooh, it's gone to the back stick. Here's Adam Armstrong. He's got an overlap from Stuart Armstrong. Adam Armstrong still got it. And shepherded out. Adam Armstrong just went through his man as well. Right, let's read some comments. Comment of the day. Amy, love your videos from a Norwich fan. I'll take it. Where's Whale when you need him? Whale Shark is normally here to predict a 0-0. Although, to be fair to Wales Shark, we did Leeds and Sunderland last week, and it was indeed 0-0. Osmajic on Lily White hot form. I'll give you that one, Clive. I'm giving it to you. Noah is son of Yoel Maweni. Who did he used to play for? Derby and Preston? I'm trying to think back in the day. Right, last one for a second here. Robert, are we going to have a scenario where nobody's been auto-promoted or relegated apart from Rotherham? Yeah, quite probably. Yeah, unless we get, I don't know, maybe if you got Birmingham beating Rotherham, Huddersfield not winning at the weekend, and then Birmingham beating Huddersfield, you might lose Huddersfield before the last day, which I'm sure all Ipswich fans will go for. But no, I think it could go to the final day, to Robert's point, at top and bottom. Put this one back to the chat. Gray Guesser, how many points out of 15 can Southampton afford to drop now? 2 maximum. But that doesn't include, they can't drop any against Leicester or Leeds. They've got to beat both of them, haven't they? Away from home. And I've said this a few times. If Southampton do finish in the top 2, mate, get a statue of this team outside the stadium. That'll be a hell of a run-in by them. Unless the top 3 continue to just lose every week. Or not winning at least, which they've been doing at the moment. Nicely worked into Aribo. Brady, gets a bit lucky there. He had about 3 chances to clear it and didn't. And Hughes knocks it away. Nice hold by Reese. Brady, lovely ball into Frokier. And here's Holmes. This is a nice looking counter for Preston. Holmes. Frokier runs ahead into the box. Frokier hits the shot. Not very convincingly held by McCarthy, I have to say. Osmajic had every right to go in and try and follow that up. Frokier didn't get hold of the shot. He needed to lift that. If he was going to beat the keeper on the near post, you need to thrash that at the top corner, don't you? But couldn't quite get the power. Could he? Get some more comments here. As the ball goes back to McCarthy, who clears it not very convincingly to Maweni. Frokier. Brady. Hughes. It's decent from Preston. Brady tries to knock it inside. Hughes again. Vinny, do I think Preston could go up? On the basis of Norwich's opponents, I don't think Hull, Coventry, Preston, I think Norwich are going to be in the playoffs, and I think West Brom are going to be in the playoffs. So that's my take. I'll happily come on here if Norwich lose their next 2 and Preston win the game in hand and the next 2 after that and say, here we go. But I still think Norwich are going to stick a few more points on and no one's going to be able to catch them. Rich, thoughts on the EFL Awards? Adam Armstrong can feel hard done by. Yeah, of course he can, yeah. What has he got, Armstrong? 20 goals and 11 assists. I guess the problem for Armstrong is really he'd want to be the number 9 in that team, wouldn't he? He's been playing on the right wing all season, I guess. Oh, Bolton have gone 1 down, have they? Interesting. So as things stand, Pompey, for 2 reasons. 1, because they're going to get a point themselves, and 2, because Bolton aren't winning. Not only are Bolton not winning, they're losing. Pompey are in the Championship as things stand. And here's a Rebo for Southampton. Downs, thank you for all the updates. Here's Stuart Armstrong. Manning. Brooks, first time I mentioned him, 9 minutes in. Manning, lovely ball to the edge of the box. Stuart Armstrong knocks it off. Walker Peters shoots left-footed. Looked like that was going in the corner. It's actually blocked out on the way. Hopefully Sky will give us a nice replay of that. But here comes a Preston counter. Snuffed out by big Bednarek at the back. Armstrong. Adam, that is. And that is a horrendous cross by Ryan Manning. Teague, looking at West Brom's fixtures, I think they have more chance of dropping to 7th than Norwich. Can only see Hull. Yeah, fair comment. Yeah, I know West Brom go to Leicester, don't they, at the weekend. So we could get a bit of swinging at the swinging at the weekend. Let's not say someone clip me out endorsing swinging at the weekend, everybody. I'm a Coventry fan, but live near Southampton. Is it wrong I want Saints to say for another home away day? Of course, it's not wrong. Everybody has their own needs, don't they, with football's geography? Why do you think I like it when Luton, MK, Stevenage, it'll be perfect. Get Derby back in up the M1. Leicester, that'd be my dream championship lineup, just to zip up and down the M1. Watford, get them in there. Adam Armstrong. Harwood Bellis. Horrible ball by Harwood Bellis, just straight through to the Preston centre halves. You can see there when the Saints centre halves had it, Preston all in their own half, all in shape. 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it. Although, to be fair, the three lads up top were not just sat in low block position. They were prepared to go out and press the fullbacks if needed, but still reasonably defensive, you would say. Adam Armstrong, lovely little dink over the top for Stuart Armstrong. Great cross as well. Fired in, kind of lasered into Che Adams. Sort of thigh height, so it would have been a pretty difficult volley to pull off. He gave it a good go. Stuck it in the stand, bless him. So Bolton 0, Shrewsbury 1. Pompey 1, Barnsley 1. Peterborough 1, Fleetwood 1. Are the key results so far in League One. Remember, we can lock up a few things in League One tonight. A Portsmouth win locks a lot of it up, and Bolton not winning as well tonight would be a big deal, wouldn't it? Bolton in third, 4 points behind Derby. They are currently losing. That would mean Derby could be promoted at the weekend, and Derby, after would be just 2 seasons down in League One, Derby would be returning to the Championship. That is hoofed forward by Preston, by Watmow. It's a restart for Southampton. I'm going to say it 13 minutes in. Not the most thrilling game so far. League One has frankly provided more interest than Southampton v Preston, and it is 0-0. Saints, as you'd imagine, have had the better of the possession, but nothing in it really, chance-wise. Maybe Preston had the best chance when Frockier got into the box on that counter-attack. Brady just stuck the cross in, looking for Emil Rees. Went all the way over. Hamza, nothing's guaranteed. Only 1 defeat in 11 games for West Brom. Haven't won that many, Hamza, though, have they? Been a few draws lately, haven't there? Only 2 years is good going when a big side goes down. Tell me about it, hey? How long were Ipswich down there? Was it 4 seasons in the end? 1920, 2021, 21-22. Yeah, Ipswich were down 4 seasons. How long were Leeds and Sheffield United and Forest down there, and Sheffield Wednesday as well? Hard old league to get out of. I think Rees has won a free kick there. Manning just trod on his foot. Looked a complete accident to me. Atmosphere really flat at St. Mary's. There's got to be a link between the speed that teams play at and how loud the stadium is, right? Atmosphere is always flat at St. Mary's, says Nick Knack. Barca 1-0 in the Champions League. They are 4-2 up on aggregate now against Paris Saint-Germain. So attacking free kick for Preston, in by Brady. Good header by Downs. I think Frockier is going to keep that in. Puts the cross straight into Aribo. And Saints could counter-attack, but Aribo's just got stuck in the corner. Draws a foul in the end. Joe Aribo. Was that Mawene again? He needs to not foul anybody for at least 15 minutes, I think, that fella. Else here's our walk-in red card, hey? Rafinha, the goal scorer for Barca. Joe, do you think Man City have now won the league? Probably, yeah. Oh, here's a nice round the corner there onto Flynn Downs, who's driving forward for Southampton. Preston getting back in numbers. It's going to return for Downs. Downs into the box. What a run by Downs. I think Adams tried to get in and, Manning tried to get in. I think Manning wanted a penalty. It's a hell of a run from Downs, who carried the ball miles down the pitch. He chests it down about 5 meters inside his own half. Gets a lucky bounce there where it comes back to him, and then he's nearly clear on goal. No chance that was going to be a penalty for Manning. He was goal side or wrong side, however you want to look at it. The defender was wrong side, but yeah, it's just a 50-50 and he throws himself down. No real sense there was a foul there. What's going on over here on the bench? There's a yellow card being brandished for Mike Marsh, maybe, or Ryan Lowe. I'm sure Sky will tell us. Ryan Lowe, the Preston boss, has been yellow carded, and I have no idea why. Stockport are winning and means we'll win the League 2 title tonight. Yeah, I saw Stockport losing the playoff final. At Wembley last May. They have come back super, super strong. Here is Ryan Manning. Bednarek. Steve, give me an opinion on Sky Blues on Sunday, please, Ben. That went from really rude, give me an opinion, to having to please at the end. All I'll say, Steve, I'm an EFL guy. I hope you win. I really do. It'd be hilarious if Coventry could beat Man United and gets the cup final. Tremendous stuff. Good luck, Cov. We play on Sunday over at Wembley. Second time they've been there in less than a year. Let's hope they get a better outcome, Coventry, than they did last time. I was also at that game. Downs. Aribo. Brooks. Oh, nice ball. Armstrong inside the box. Armstrong gets it out of his feet. He fires it into the middle of the 6-yard box. And Che Adams opens up his body low, right-footed. And it is the opening goal for Southampton. And are the automatics still on? It would be 3 in a row, I think, for Saints. They are 1-0 up. Adams is the goal scorer. This is the problem for Preston when you're going to play so deep and so narrow. If you do have a player like Adam Armstrong who can dribble the ball and he can beat a man, you're just screwed. You've got loads of bodies in the box and everything's a little bit too close and on top of each other. It's good from Armstrong. Easy finish for Che Adams, and Southampton lead 1-0. We are 19 minutes in, and Saints, as things stand, are 3 points behind Leeds United and 4 behind Leicester, 5 behind Ipswich. Remember, they have a game in hand on both Ipswich and Leeds. And Leicester's game in hand is against Southampton. So think upon that how you will. We'll get your comments up in just a sec. What I'm sure you want to look at is the live league table, don't you? See it for yourself. Although I think you've probably all studied this enough. But it would close up the gap nicely. By the way, look at Southampton's points total. To have 84 points by the middle of April and not be first place by miles is just ridiculous, isn't it? But I think we just got used to this point scoring this season by Ipswich, Leicester, Leeds and Southampton. It's a hell of a total, isn't it? 2 points per game, which just always gets you promoted, doesn't it? If you were to get 92 points. I think the highest points a team has ever lost out by is 90, which would have been Sunderland in 97, 98. I might be out by a year on that. I think I'm right. When they drew 4-4 and lost on penalties in the playoff final, Sunderland finished third, scored 90 points. They were a proper good team. To be fair to them, I think they banged out 104 points or something the next season and won the league by a mile. But yeah. Now, this one in the channel, which Reese has run quite nicely. Reese, so he tried to feed it into Osmajic. Good, powerful, disruptive centre-forward play there. And Sky are telling us that Che Adams has now scored 100 senior goals in his career. So congratulations to him. He joins the 100 club. Remember him when he was at Birmingham, Adams, in 2018-19. Really good season up front with Jutkiewicz. Under Gary Monk. Gary Monk did have a habit of the way he played. His number 9s would score a lot. I remember Chris Wood scoring a load of goals for Gary Monk when he was Leeds manager. Same for Che Adams. The old 4-4 F2 and 2 striker type thing. Here's Adam Armstrong. Dwayne Holmes fouls him about 4 times in the same movement there and he's probably going to get booked. Referee Barrett brings out the yellow card again. It's going to be a free kick to Southampton. Don't say my name. No, I think I'll give that one a swerve. Another Armstrong assist. Yes, indeed. So I believe Armstrong's numbers. In fact, let me go to 20 goals, 12 assists, is it? Let's have a look. That might be number 13. Unbelievable. Manning sticks the free kick in. Completely free header for, who was that? Miss Harwood Bellis. He had to move back to get it. Just on the penalty spot. Couldn't get any power because he took 3 steps back before he headed it. Too much zonal marking. As in, everybody gets close to the goal as possible. Tuck in and get behind the ball. Very much so. $33 combined goals and assists. Does that mean it's his 13th assist then? That's very good, isn't it? Very, very good. Adam Armstrong putting up the numbers. Big style this season. Southampton playing out from the back. And this gets difficult for Preston now, doesn't it? I mean, like it's ever easy playing away at a year one parachute team. But now they've gone behind. What do? Do they just try and stay in it and wait for the last half hour? Feels a bit passive, doesn't it? Oh, what a strike by Armstrong. Oh, that's so unlucky. Really great no eyes lob there from about 40 yards. Freddie Woodman gives him a smile. It's a great effort by Armstrong, that, purely because of the way he disguises it. Look, whoop. What a brilliant effort. Sticks it on the roof of the net. Love that. And no eyes, 40-yard lob attempted by Adam Armstrong. Bolton 1-1. So as things stand, Bolton are level and Portsmouth are level. Remember, Portsmouth just need a point. But Bolton will be kicking themselves if Barnsley can beat Portsmouth. And they don't get the win themselves when the other result went for them. Here's Reese dribbling down the left-hand side. Oh, he's done well. Reese into the box. He tries to go all of the way through. Bit of coming together. Never going to be a pen. Was it? Just a 50-50 there. And I think Reese is looking for that. Lee, you absolute blooming legend. 199 on the Super Chat. We thank you very, very kindly. Callum, Armstrong is one of the best too good for Championship, not Premier League level players since Pookie. I've got to stand up for Teemu Pookie there. He played in 2 absolutely dreadful seasons for Norwich. And someone checked the total. He was definitely in double figures in the first season. So I would dispute. I think Pookie was plenty good enough for the Premier League, but played in a team that finished bottom twice and still scored a fair few goals when he barely had any they barely had any wins or any chances or any of the ball. Double figures in both seasons, yeah. I used to argue this for Mitrovic as well. People would I think, foolishly say because he didn't score 25 goals in the Premier League that he was somehow not good enough for it. But you have to understand, if you're in any team that's not in the top 6 in the Premier League and you score more than 10 goals in 38 games, remember, as well, that's really good in the most fearsome league in the world. Yeah, 11 goals both seasons. So I would say Teemu Pookie, I would say it's really unfair. I'm not having a pop at the commenter, but I'm just standing up for Pookie. I thought it was a great striker. I think it's really unfair. It would be unfair to say that he wasn't a Premier League level striker if you get 11 twice, finishing bottom of the league. I think that's very, very decent. What's falling from my face? Excuse me. Bits of me are falling off. Manning. Adams, all lovely give and go. And it is 2-0. Southampton slice right through the middle of Preston. It's a lovely give and go. Che Adams gets his second. That's probably game over. Adams is on a hat-trick. Southampton 2. Preston 0. Lovely goal. Manning forward and nice and narrow from fullback. Lovely little step over. It's Dwight York, Andy Cole move, that one, isn't it? Between David Brooks and Che Adams. From then on, it's easy. For a player of Brooks' quality, the through ball's easy. For a player of Adams' quality, the finish is easy. And it's impressive stuff from Southampton. They are 2-0 up. This game looks won. And Southampton very, very much doing what they need to. I know we think they need to score like 13 points out of 15 and probably beat both Leicester and Leeds into the bargain. But they're doing what they need to so far. And not that we want to look too far ahead because we know what the Championship is like. Off to Cardiff on Saturday. It's another long-range lob attempted. Adams trying to grab the hat-trick. Immediately there. Maybe they've noticed Woodman's starting position is always 10 yards out of his goal. I suppose you're allowed when you just scored your second goal in the first 30 minutes. Christ's sake, Finney. Well, commiserations to any Preston fans watching. What we can probably say is if Preston do lose this game and they're 8 points adrift of Norwich with 3 rounds each to play, obviously that means Norwich have a 18-point goal difference advantage. That does make it look very much like Norwich would only need 1 more point in their remaining 3 games to warn off any challenge from Preston. Obviously, Hull and Coventry could still have a say in it, but we're watching Preston right now and they are 2-0 down. Shrews lead Bolton. Bolton losing. Bolton 1, Shrewsbury 2. So in order for Portsmouth not to get promoted now, we would need a Barnsley goal and 2 Bolton goals. So it looks very, very nailed on that Pompey are going up tonight. In comes the free kick from Preston. Hughes can't do a lot with that. I think it's a Rebo tracking him back. How long have Charlton been in the 3rd tier? Charlton went down in the COVID season. They were really unlucky, weren't they? They got like 49 points or something and got relegated. Is that right? So that would be 1920, 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23. So Charlton are in their 4th season in League One. Manning knocks that one down the line. Adam Armstrong to Aribo. And Russ Martin will no doubt, he'll be planning ahead. They've got a lot of games, Southampton, haven't they? And if they can get this one done and dusted, I know they were 2-0 up against Watford and that went back to 2-2. But they look pretty comfortable here. Cross goes in. Holmes, deals with it. Poor clearance. Stuart Armstrong. It is 3-0 to Southampton. And Dwayne Holmes, like him as a player, but hang your head in shame, my friends. Terrible clearance to a player of great quality in Stuart Armstrong. Touch. And he sticks it straight in the corner. And I think we are witnessing a murder here. 33 minutes gone. Southampton 3, Preston 0. Ouch. Oh dear. Poor old Dwayne Holmes. He doesn't need us to tell him how bad that was. Just swung his left foot at it at the clearance and gave it straight to Armstrong. Woodman's in a horrible position. He's never going to save anything that's going in the corner. And it's a mistake. You move on. You acknowledge it. And it's 3-0 to Southampton. I mean, goal difference could be a thing between Southampton and Ipswich. Southampton are now 4 goals difference behind Ipswich. But they're a long way behind Leeds and Leicester in terms of the goal difference. But yeah, you've got this game in hand. You want to get ticked off? Well, to be 3-0 up after 33 minutes is all right, isn't it, eh? Manning, give and go. Manning into the box. It's a penalty, is it? It would have been a penalty, but it's right on the edge of the area. Looked really close, didn't it? Poor old Dwayne Holmes has had a bad minute or so. My first instinct there was that's a penalty. But as I'll always do, I'll plead the fifth until I see the replay. Oh, no, to be fair, it's just outside, isn't it? He falls into the box. Holmes clips him there. Yeah, just outside the box. It's a good decision by the referee. Just gets the back of his right foot as he's running there. So bang to rights Holmes, and it's a free kick right on the edge of the box for Southampton. 3-0. Oh, Burton 1, Cheltenham 0. That could do for relegation down at the bottom in League One. Burton could just literally siphon everybody off tonight in League One. We'll have a look at half time. But I think if I added it up correctly, that might literally do for everybody. Yeah, it would. Although actually, no, Port Vale could still finish level on points, but they're -7 on the goal difference. Cheltenham have still got 3 games to go as well. Free kick, Southampton. Curled towards the far post by Stuart Armstrong. Easy save for Freddie Woodman. But Southampton, very, very dominant. Family tournaments. Evening, Benjamin. Do you think Millwall will stay up? Yes, I do. I think Millwall could probably lose all 3 of their games. I don't think Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday are both going to get 7 points. And everything that needs to happen between them as well. Looks like Ryan Lowe's going to make a couple of subs. I reckon he might take off Maweny in central midfield just to stop him getting red carded. Holmes hooks that one clear. Nice to see him complete an action after a very dodgy 90 seconds or so. Armstrong. Walker-Peters. Armstrong again. Manning. Manning's cross blocked by Dwayne Holmes. Adam Armstrong knocks that one inside. Walker-Peters on the right foot. Is he going to have a shot? No. Knocks it to Aribo. Aribo. In comes the cross low. It's going to fall to Armstrong, edge of the box. Armstrong drives the shot. Wow. That could have been 4-0. He just literally hit Watmow. He turned his back as well. Big handball risk when you do that. We're not going to see the replay because the corner's been taken quickly. Brooks. We've got 2 balls on the pitch there. Oh, Brooks has done well. Brooks knocks it back. Armstrong, Stuart Armstrong drives the shot again. Well done, Paul Boy. Just reaches into the quadrant and takes that one off the pitch. That was triggering me badly. Here is Stuart Armstrong again. Oh my God, he's hit the inside of the post. It spins all the way along the goal line. A bit lucky, Preston, and it's not 4-0. There was 2 efforts by Stuart Armstrong, who's having a lovely old time, isn't he? That's really unlucky. It's right in the corner. They often hit the inside of the post and go in or bounce in off the keeper or spin in. And yeah, Preston are hanging here. Oh, that is brutal. Dwayne Holmes has been substituted. I'm not sure I feel terribly comfortable with that. I feel very badly for Dwayne Holmes, who, unless he's got an injury, but he had a terrible minute and he's been hooked before half time, which is a bit humiliating. I almost hope he's injured, not too badly, obviously, because bit cringeworthy for poor old Dwayne Holmes and anybody watching that. Nobody likes to see anyone fall flat on their face like that, unless you're some kind of psycho, Schadenfreudist. I don't, anyway. Right, here comes Manning. It was Greg Cunningham who came in. Here's Adam Armstrong down the left. I think Robbie Brady has swapped sides just to see if he can cope with Adam Armstrong and Ryan Manning better than Dwayne Holmes did, bless him. Throw in to Southampton, who are absolutely dominant in this game, aren't they? As you guys were saying in the chat, Preston really hanging, aren't they? Aribo, Brooks, Stuart Armstrong, Brooks, Adam Armstrong. Manning's done well. This is absolutely gnarly. This just complete attack against defence. You can choose which Armstrong for Southampton's going to be man of the match later on, right? Aribo clips that one in. They're playing with such confidence now. All the forward passes are coming off. 2-0 Dortmund. Dortmund 2, Atletico 0, which makes it 2-2 on the night. Imagine travelling down from Preston for this. I suspect if it goes any worse, that the Preston players may be dipping in their pockets to reimburse some travel if this goes 4 or 5 for those Preston fans. That will be, well, someone Google map it. If you have a bad run round the M25 past Heathrow, I reckon that's a 6-hour drive, isn't it? Oof. Liam, welcome to you, Squire. Knick-knack. We're usually crap second half, though. You'll have to be really crap to mess this up. Although here come Preston. It's clipped in the middle looking for Reese over his head, headed out by the excellent Adam Armstrong, who's played beautifully today. Probably only eclipsed by his namesake, Stuart Armstrong. Ryan Manning tries to send that home, bounces off Reese, and it's going to be a goal kick to Southampton. Oh, Sky paid for the coach travel. Well, that's good of Sky. I guess it wasn't their fault that he got postponed, but I guess it's their doing. It's on TV on a Tuesday night at 8 p.m. as well, isn't it? I was going to say, I know a lot of people moan when people leave football matches early. But this is a situation if you wanted to get back to Preston. I don't know, what time is it? 8:45? Are you only going to be there another hour and a half longer, aren't you? You missed the traffic, though. Right, here's Adam Armstrong on the left again, where they've just murdered Preston. Oh, lovely cross by Armstrong. Yeah, Adam Armstrong does seem personally affronted, doesn't he, by not being in that team of the season. He's on a one-man mission to make his point tonight. He's playing really well, isn't he? (43:20) on the clock. I guess Preston will just want to get in at half-time, won't they? Keep it to 3-0. And the old classic, can you win the second half, eh? Give your supporters a goal to cheer, I guess. Aribo. Manning. We're throw-in for Southampton. Bit concerned the second half of this game is going to be a bit like a friendly, isn't it? I'm sure they both shake hands to finish 3-0 at 45, wouldn't they? And everyone goes home. Job's a good one. Is Manning, Downs, Adams, on a hat-trick, remember. Aribo, Downs. This is really good. Armstrong. Downs. Nice little Cruyff turn by Downs. Adam Armstrong. Little scoop over by Brooks. A little bit too elaborate, but the football was really lovely beforehand by Southampton. Preston can't get out. Reese did get it knocked into him, but it's with Brooks again on the edge of the box. Brooks holds it up. They just look punch drunk, don't they, poor old Preston? They've managed to, I think it's Watmow clears it. It's just not going anywhere, though, is it? Every clearance falls to a Saint shirt, doesn't it? Manning throws it in. We're into stoppage time. It's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. In goes the cross. Brooks was arriving on the back post over his head. He's just showing the 2 goals again. 3 goals, in fact. Adams. First 2 goals, pretty similar in some ways with, the build of possession and a quick little bit of quality and an easy finish. Here comes Reese. Good tackle by Manning. Throw in for Preston. Which Brady will take. Oh, dear. Throws it to Jack Watmow, who just volleys it out of play. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Sums up Preston's first half. Got Ryan Lowe and Mike Marsh in the background. Still one to call because is there any point going in and screaming and yelling at these players? As you guys are pointing out in the chat, this is Preston away at a year 1 parachute team. But it has been very, very one-sided, hasn't it, in terms of Southampton's dominance. Cunningham knocks that one forward. Osmajic tries to hold it. And that is half time. Complete domination by Southampton. They are 3-0 up. The game is already won. I was going to say they've been excellent, Southampton, but it just doesn't have that feel, does it? I'm trying not to be unfair to Southampton, who have played, really well, haven't they? But it's just been easy, hasn't it, for them? Maybe Preston are just right on the edge of, knowing that the playoff chase ended on Saturday at home to Norwich and just folded a bit, didn't they? And Southampton have. I think what I mean when I want to say Southampton have been excellent, I think they've been in like 3rd gear, Southampton, haven't they? I did the game, which actually lost against Ipswich, didn't they? But I thought they were even better than they've been tonight in that for at least probably a good 40 minutes from the 20th minute to the 60th minute. So that's what I think I'm saying. I think Southampton have probably got another couple of levels on top of this that they could play to. But you can only beat what's put in front of you, can't you? And Preston just collapsed a little bit after the first goal, didn't they? The goals come in. Let me just bring you the data up. And if you're a fan of these attack momentum graphs, look at that. It's very red, put it that way. Sorry. So the goals come in Che Adams, 19th minute. Nice work by Adam Armstrong. Easy finish from Adams. Second goal was really good, wasn't it? Adams steps over it, goes to Brooks. First time ball through. Lovely, neat and tidy from Brooks and from Adams. Just strokes it in. They made it look easy, those two, but they're good players, aren't they? The third goal was a bit cringeworthy, wasn't it? Where Dwayne Holmes was the furthest man back, kind of joining in with the centre halves. Just terrible clearance by Holmes. Straight to Stuart Armstrong, who had the keeper basically had his foot on his neck there because the keeper's come out when the cross has gone and he's in an awful position and with a defender completely blocking his view and just stuck in the corner by Stuart Armstrong. The underlying numbers are just horrific for Preston, aren't they? Look, 75-25 to Southampton on the possession. Look at that XG, 1.5, and then Preston 0.04. Shows you how one-sided it's been. 14 shots to 1, 4 shots on target to 1. Saints making 2 big chances, I assume, for both of the Che Adams goals. Don't get too emotional about an algorithm deciding what a big chance is or not. I think we get the idea of what they're trying to say. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is your live league table where you will see Southampton are on course, very likely, I'm going to say nailed on to win their 3rd game in a row. And it makes it interesting, really interesting. They'd be 3 points behind Leeds, 4 behind Leicester, 5 behind Ipswich. Remember, though, we've got Ipswich not playing this weekend. So that means a Southampton win against Cardiff would guarantee that Southampton would go within 2 points of leaders Ipswich. Then, next Tuesday, Southampton would play Leicester. So, you do have a scenario where Southampton win tonight. They beat Cardiff at the weekend. They beat Leicester on Tuesday. If they got really lucky and Leicester and Leeds both lost on Saturday at West Brom, or was it Leeds play on Monday, Southampton would actually be top next Tuesday in that scenario. I know that would be like the perfect scenario for Saints, but I'm just playing it out that, you know, if everything went absolutely perfect for them, you know, they're top of the league this time next week, which is absolutely crazy when you consider today they were starting 8 points off it. But that's the schedule, that's the games in hand, and that's how quickly things can move. We are going to have a look at League One, I think, when we come back. But I think I'm going to need a drink to get all the way through this stream. So shall we have a little break, guys? I'll put the stinger up, which I think lasts for, in fact, I can tell you how long it lasts. 3 minutes and 49 seconds. So if you want to go make a cup of tea, be my guest, get your questions in. We'll look at League One and Portsmouth's imminent promotion, which could be happening in the next 45, 50 minutes or whenever they may have kicked off back again already. So yeah, get your questions in and I'm starting my stopwatch. I'll be back in 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Go make a cup of tea. Welcome back, everybody. It's Southampton 3, Preston 0 on the watch along. Let's just turn our attention to what's going on in League One, and then we'll answer some of your questions that have no doubt filled the chat. By the way, in Champions League, I know quite a few of you watching that as well. Barcelona 1, PSG 1. Barcelona 4-3 up on aggregate, but it looks like by that red card symbol, they may well be down to 10 men. Could be that one could go the distance, couldn't it? Dortmund 2, Atletico Madrid 0. Dortmund 3-2 up on aggregate. We know all about Southampton 3, Preston 0, but in League One, Bolton 1, Shrewsbury 2, which is massive at the top. Bolton need to win tonight to keep Pompey hanging on for at least another few days. They're losing. 53 gone, apparently. Take those numbers with a pinch of salt from FootMob with the clocks. Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge 0. Burton 1, Cheltenham 0 is massive at the bottom. That really locks down the bottom of the table. And that would take down, let me do my maths here, Fleetwood. I think Cheltenham would still be safe, wouldn't they? Because they can still get to 47 points, but Fleetwood would be down the way things are going. Oxford 0, Lincoln 1. That's a huge game right on the edges of the playoffs as well. They're currently 6th and 7th, those two. Oxford 6th, Lincoln 7th. Peterborough 1, Fleetwood 1. As I mentioned, Fleetwood clinging on by their fingernails at the moment, aren't they? They look like they're going to drop as things stand. Port Vale 1, Wickham 1. Anything for Port Vale in that game is good news, but there is a gap going up to Burton and then Cambridge. And of course, Shrewsbury, who are incredibly winning at Bolton as things stand. Portsmouth 1, Barnsley 1 is the big one, isn't it, at the bottom? Portsmouth just need a point, or they could lose and for Bolton not to win, and they are up. Currently, if everything stopped now, it would be Pompey 92, Bolton 82 in third. That would be that. And obviously, Bolton's upside would then only be 88. Portsmouth would be promoted back to the Championship. We'll go to some questions in just a jiffy. Just a few quick plugs over my shoulder there. You will see the lovely Beer 52 display, and it'll be ticking along the bottom there. Beer 52, you can get a box of beer like that for free. You do have to pay the postage, though. Let's be transparent about that. The postage is £5.95. It's ticking along the bottom there. 8 different beers from around the world, beautifully curated. Beer52.com/Bloom is your link. You pay the £5.95 postage and you get the beers for free. No problem with the subscription as well. Also, a couple of gigs being plugged there. My normal job being a musician. I will be at 3 St. Peter's in Bedford playing solo on the 26th of April. I will be with the wonderful show. Wow, that's what I call the 90s, a tribute to the wonderful decade of the 90s. Friday, 10th of May in Banbury at the Mill Arts Centre. So if you're in that part of the world, Banbury, the Mill Arts Centre, the 10th of May, and you want to, you can remember music of the 90s and you want to come and hang out that evening, I will be performing there. Right. Oh, hello. Burton 1, Cheltenham 1. That swings things massively back, doesn't it? Because that would take 2 points off Burton. Everything changes there. So as things stand, Fleetwood would still be in it. And they're actually only 1 goal behind on the goal difference as well. Interesting. Don't forget League 2. Mansfield heading up. Forest Green getting double relegation tonight. That is horrible. Forest Green have done so well to get into League One, but it's all kind of fallen off a cliff, really. hasn't it? Any questions in the chat? There we go. Lee, would you do an FA Cup vlog as Coventry is still in? If you could get 1-2 tickets to the game. Potentially, the problem with things like that, Lee, is I would have had to have already got that signed off from the missus if I was going down to Wembley on Sunday, if you're kindly offering, Lee. But be fun to be there. But yeah, I suspect at this late juncture that won't be ratified. But I appreciate that if that is a surreptitious offer. Any more questions? Any more for any more? Let's have a look. Annie, will there be a video on Pompey's promotion? I think we probably should, shouldn't we, Annie? I don't know whether to do that now or just to wait until the close season and have a real good look at Pompey. But yeah, you guys let me know if that is something that you would watch. Patrick, you bloody legend. A free case of Beer 52 on his way. beer52.com/bloom. And we have kicked off in the second half. Southampton 3, Preston 0. Is this going to be an exhibition match in the second half? You lot tell me. Could well be, couldn't it? Could well be. Both managers shake hands on a 3-0 for Southampton and we all go home and no one gets hurt. Just give me what I want and no one gets hurt. Oh, here comes Southampton early in the half. Booted clear for Preston by Liam Lindsay. On that note, we should probably give you the team, shouldn't we? The substitution there at halftime, I think I saw Will Keane coming on. Remember, Dwayne Holmes had the indignity of being pulled out of the game on 39 minutes after making a pretty heinous mistake for the third goal. Here comes Southampton again. Manning tries to switch the play to Aribo. And it's into Walker-Peters. I think I'm just going to have to gamble and do the teams now. Despite the fact it looks like Southampton could launch an attack at any particular moment. Here comes Manning, in fact, right now. No-look pass by Armstrong. Stuart Armstrong, that is. I'll hold fire on the teams 1 second. Southampton looking dangerous, as they did for pretty much the last 25 minutes of the first half. Shay Charles came in for Southampton, by the way. Also, Flynn Downs, basically, I think is getting rested with 45 gone. Nice work if you can get it. How much did Shay Charles cost? 10 million, was it? Get him in there. Right, I think we can do the teams now. We do this real quick. For Southampton, McCarthy in goal. It's Walker-Peters, Harwood, Bellis, Bednarek, Manning, Aribo and Armstrong. Downs has been replaced by Shay Charles. Brooks, Adams on the hat-trick and Adam Armstrong. And he has got to the byline, crossed it to the back post. Aribo is going to recycle. Walker-Peters, Aribo. Much of a different pattern than we got in the first half, is there? Manning. And down he goes. Adam Armstrong under a tackle from Robbie Brady. I tell you what we're going to do. Let's quickly get... I think there's quite a big goal just gone in League One by the look of it. But they might not make any difference given what's happening at the Unibowl. Woodman in goal for Preston. Story, Lindsay Hughes. Brady is playing right wing back now. Cunningham's over on the left. Mwene, Watmar, Frotke, Jensen. You can see Jakobsen, Rees is out and Keane is in. Osmajic is his partner up top. But yes, that is confirmed. Thank you for the heads ups in the chat. Pompey are losing. What are they doing? Portsmouth 1, Barnsley 2. And we had that Cheltenham equaliser against Burton. Goodness me. In comes the free kick from Southampton. We'll go to the live League One table. Portsmouth are still going to be promoted as things stand because Bolton are losing at home to Shrewsbury. But what a weird way to go up if they're going to lose at home and their nearest rivals are going to lose as well. We'll get that table up in a second. Here comes Southampton down the left, as I seem to have said about 5,000 times in this stream. Although Preston have nicked it high up the pitch. Osmajic tried to knock it onto Frockier. Nothing doing. Aribo brings it away. Brooks, Aribo, Charles. Looks like Will Keane is virtually playing as a second number 10, isn't he? Try and shore that up a little bit more. Armstrong, low cross. Adams chance for the hat-trick, spins, shot, blocked. Ben, are Preston playing like a team on the beach? It wouldn't be fair to say they're playing like a team on the beach. They're playing like a team that probably are on the verge of having nothing to play for. The shot gets driven in by Bednarek. Doesn't miss by much, does it? Just went short from the corner. Don't think the keeper was getting there, was he? Through a crowd. No, to be fair, I think the keeper is probably getting there, Woodman. But no, I just think Preston tired. Result went against them against Norwich, didn't it? And I think this is it for Preston and their playoff challenge, isn't it? Mansfield 2 up. Look like they're heading to League One. 3-3 at Dortmund. Yes, Atletico Madrid. Champions League staples. They've got it back to 2-1 on the night, so it's 3-3. And Barcelona and PSG is 4-3 on aggregate, 1-1 on the night. Some exciting Champions League action tonight. If you like that sort of thing, we're here for the Championship, of course. And Southampton are coasting in 3-0 against Preston and making things quite interesting at the top of the table. It's going to be a third straight win. Somebody needs to go on a winning run in the top four, don't they? And if Southampton are going to be the only team to do that, we all know what that means, don't we? Adams offside. Champions League housery. They love it, don't they? I quite like the idea, though, of there being a housery team in the Champions League. I think it's quite fun. Che Adams there. Don't really know why we need to see a replay of that. It was miles offside, but as I said, this game could end up playing out like a friendly, couldn't it? With Saints having such a commanding lead. 52-48 on the clock. Throw in to Preston, who have barely been in the Southampton half, have they, in the second half? Well, I should say probably since about minute 15 of the game, really. But funnily enough, Frockier did have the first chance of the game, didn't he? Here's a Rebo. Given away by Brooks. And here comes Brady down the right wing. Brady, a little feed onto Mwene. Dealt with by Bednarek. And Charles, pretty neatly. And Southampton are going to come away with it. Steve, you bloody legend. Just ordered my beers. Thank you guys so much for supporting everybody, really. Beer 52 up there. Match bingo up there. I've got a couple of gigs advertised in the crawler down the bottom there. I know it. You've fed up of hearing plugs, but hey, it's the way new media works, isn't it? It's how we can keep it free for you, hey? In comes the cross, cleared out. Manning puts it in low. Adams, was he onside? If he was onside, that's a giant chance for the hat trick. For Che Adams, no, he was offside. He'd probably be quite pleased to see that. Because he was across the near post. Yeah, he's too eager to get his hat trick at the moment, Che Adams. He's been miles offside a couple of times now. Hasn't he? But yeah, thanks to Steve, there was someone else who signed up as well. Big thank you, guys. It does really, really help. If you can support our lovely sponsors, Beer 52 and Match Bingo. Steve Banbury, we will be on stage from, I guess, 8 till 9, 9:30 till 10:30, that sort of time. Send me a DM and I'll tell you more. What's this free beer going? Remember, the beer is free. You have to pay the postage, though. You get that box up there, but it's £5.95 for the postage. We've been very clear about this. I'm sure I'd get shut down immediately if I was giving away alcohol on our channel here. Speaking of our channel, if there's any issues with the picture, hopefully the internet's going to sort itself out in a minute, but it's telling me we have an unstable connection. My apologies if I'm looking like a Minecraft character. We hope not. Throw in to Preston over by the managers there. Technical box. 56:45 on the clock. Southampton started the second half pretty well, actually. Hasn't probably gone into friendly mode yet, which we're worried it might do. Interesting. Bolton 2-2. So we are now, if that is true, and Anir has got the jump on the goals, we are one Bolton goal away in League One from Portsmouth not being promoted tonight. If Bolton were to win and Portsmouth were to lose, and if we think Bolton are level at 2-2 and Portsmouth are 1-2 down at home to Barnsley, then Portsmouth might not get promoted tonight. Mads Frokje Jensen is changing his old boots. Close that down on the other screen. See if that improves the connection. Oh, my apologies. Goal kick to Preston. Woodman goes long. Mwene wins it quite nicely. Slides it out to Robbie Brady. There you go. Paris Magoma. Good work, Anir. By the way, check out Anir. He stood in for Mikey on the Premier League predictions on the channel. If you want to put a face to the name. Good lad. And he deliberately let me beat him. normal service resumed this week. It's going to be out for a Southampton throw. Steve, you absolute legend. Way too kind tonight. Thank you. We'll get you in a WhatsApp group, matey, once I've done this stream. Are you half American? Says Ryan. I've never been asked that in my life, Ryan. No, I am not. I can tell you my DNA. Bore you. Come Southampton, down the left. I need a new line, don't I? Headed away. Foul on David Brooks. No, most of my genetics were Celtic, like English, Scottish, and Irish, with some Viking, Norse stuff, like most of us have in Europe, don't we? Or in Britain, certainly. If we're native to these islands. Stuart Armstrong. Oh, nice little feed through. Manning crosses, looking for Adams for the hat trick. Cannot win the header on the back stick. And Preston clear of their lines. Manning crosses again. That's a poor ball, and Woodman leaves that out. Wayne, QPR probably have enough points to... Yeah, Sam Parkin pointed that out, didn't he, on the check-in. QPR are the only team who don't have a head-to-head. I mean, maybe you want a head-to-head because you can, you know, your destiny's in your own hands. But, yeah, fair point. Deliberately equals me being incompetent. Nothing of the sort, my friend. Start the party. Mansfield 2-0 up. Ian, your future League One correspondent. You're always welcome here, Ian, whatever division you are watching. Ali, was I lucky enough to get an away ticket for Hull or Coventry? I didn't try, actually. For the Hull game, Shaylee is on a hen weekend, so I've got to be here looking after Enid anyway. Coventry one, yeah, we'll see what transpires with that, but I might just do a watch along because that won't be too terrifying, will it? My God. $62 on the clock. It's all very academic, this, isn't it? Southampton are 90% certain to win, aren't they? We're just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. I suppose they've already managed to take Flynn Downs out and rest him. Joe Rothwell is going to come in. So you'd imagine another change in central midfield. Do I ever chat to Matt and Sophie on their channel? Yes. Do you know, I haven't seen them since the first day of the season. I saw them at Leicester Coventry. And I think we were both in each other's vlogs, which was lovely and fun. That's a good point, Lee. Surely Coventry v Ipswich is on TV, isn't it? Has to be. A match of such magnitude. Burton 1, Cheltenham 2. Wow. League One down at the bottom is certainly, actually at both ends. They want it to go another week. If you had some of the conspiracy theorists that I've had on my channel this week, they'd be crying foul, claiming all sorts of conspiracies. Free kick, Preston, which Brady whips in. Cleared to the edge of the box, and a handball has been given. I think it was headed straight onto a Preston player's arm. Oh, there's a horrible giveaway back, and Preston don't capitalise. Will Keane was right in the centre of the goal there. Frockier could have fouled him, but couldn't find the pass. Southampton just temporarily going to sleep there, but looks like Smallbones coming on as well as Rothwell. So possibly Aribo and Armstrong are about to step out. I'm stepping out. I'm moving on. Harwood Bellis. Manning. Oh. Atletico Madrid have just scored another goal at Dortmund in the Champions League. It's 2-2 on the night. It's now 3-4 in favour of Atletico Madrid. Wow. Armstrong down the left, crosses in looking for Adams. That's one, maybe the only place Preston have dominated tonight is in the air, the three centre-backs against Adams. Although he's still got 2 goals on the ground. Is it Preston who have the worst playoff record? Yes, I think that's right. I think Preston have been in the playoffs 8 times and never won. And I think Ipswich aren't far behind. 8 times and won it once. I think Derby as well, 8 times and won it once. Someone will correct me in the chat. But I think Preston are 0 for 8 times. We're not just talking championship playoffs, we're talking playoffs across the divisions. Well, that's clipped in for Adams for the hat-trick. And Woodman thwarts Che Adams. It's a good save, actually. Clipped over the top. Adams did well, actually. Much harder than either of his goals, probably. Really good take. Good save. He's unlucky there, Adams, isn't he? Great first touch, that. Doesn't do a hell of a lot wrong. To have been perfect, he would have slid it through the keeper's legs, wouldn't he? Corner to Southampton. With Bellis and Bednarek both up. It's gone out to Manning, who angles it in left-footed. Nice delivery, but headed clear. Again, as I say, Preston dominant in the air. Nearly got the counter-attack going there. Frockier couldn't quite get past. Didn't see who the last man was. Might have been Walker Peters. I wonder who has the best record in the playoffs. Well, if only someone had made a helpful video about this. I did it a couple of years ago, so it might change. I think Crystal Palace have got the most wins, certainly in the Championship. I think the actual best team, pound for pound, is Burnley. I think Burnley were in the playoffs once, won every single game, home, away in the semi-final and the final. So I think Burnley have got this 100%. They've played 3 playoff games and won all of them, but I admit that's a small sample size. I'm pretty sure it's Crystal Palace who've got, maybe Crystal Palace have been promoted 4 times via the playoffs from the Championship. That sounds right. David Hopkin, Kevin Phillips. Who did it when? No, Ian Holloway was Kevin Phillips. I can't remember. I'll add it up one day. Posh 2, Fleetwood 1, Eek. So it went Fleetwood's way with the result between Burton and Cheltenham, but they're now losing themselves, having missed 2 penalties. Cleared away. Here comes Southampton again. Aribo comes in on the left foot. Aribo hits the shot, blocked out. Are we about to get this double sub? Yes, we are. Just sent a replay of. We did mention this when Bazunu got injured in the warm-up, didn't we? That McCarthy, the keeper, might struggle with the playing out from the back. And as predicted, Smallbone and Rothwell in for Aribo and Stuart Armstrong. We've done this before, haven't we? Going to be a couple of subs for Preston as well. Mwene, fair play to him because he did get booked after 40 seconds and he didn't get red carded. Looks like Watmow is going out as well. Alan Brown and Ryan Ledson coming in. Just a double swap in central midfield. Southampton 3, Preston 0, and Portsmouth have equalised. Thank you, guys. 2-2. So that puts Portsmouth destiny right back into their own hands. Remember, Portsmouth draw. Doesn't matter what Bolton do then. They are up. Bolton are level. 5 minutes to go in that one. But that's not going to matter. Armstrong cannot keep that in. By the way, if I say Armstrong now, Stuart Armstrong is out of the game. It will be Adam Armstrong we're talking about. Don't have to qualify that anymore. 71 gone in this one. Some big scorelines in League One, though. Not least, it looks like Portsmouth for 7 minutes plus stoppage time away from being promoted. Am I playing in London again soon? I think the 90s show is in South London. It's at Christmas, though. Carlsfalton rings a bell. But that's like in December. So not for a while. I'll probably be down the 100 Club again with the fabulous lounge swingers, as ever. 3-2 to Dortmund now in the Champions League as well. Fun and games elsewhere tonight. We did kind of know when Southampton went 3-0 up that this game was all done and dusted. And everyone would have shaken hands on a 3-0 at that point. Brady breaks away for Preston. Throw-in taken by Will Keane. Brown. Brady. Crosses left-footed. Smallbone clears. Adams, good turn. Nice ball as well. Sets away Brooks. Brooks feeds that in. It's Rothwell. Oh, horrible slice, and they get lucky there. Just went straight up in the air, and there was a chance that Smallbone could have swiveled and volleyed that in. Didn't quite fall for him. Brooks, though, still. And we said he loves a shot. Adam Armstrong, over the bar it goes. Colby Bishop, the goal scorer. For Portsmouth. How many goals has he scored this season? Loads. Big clearance from Woodman. 73-42. Keane does well to win that. Has he been whistled for that? That didn't look like a foul, did it? Or was he offside? I stand corrected if he was offside. Few shouts out for Stockport as well in the chat there from Ian and from Robert. We're going to see Stockport in League One next season. I remember watching Stockport in the second tier with Gary Megson as the manager and Alan Armstrong and Brett Angel and Kevin Cooper. Mike Flynn is Smallbone into the box. Smallbone puts it across. Big chance. What a save. How was that not 4-0? As David Brooks arriving, he spanks that towards the top corner. Should have been 4-0. It's a huge chance. Penalty spot. Great save, Woodman. He shouldn't have had a hope in hell of saving that, should he? Brett Angel. What a player. Oh, another shot driven left-footed by Ryan Manning, just wide of the post. David. Looking forward to the day Ipswich don't have to return a record-breaking amount of points just to get a runners-up place. Well, wrong place, wrong time. Tony Dinning. There you go. Carlo Nash. We named the entire Stockport 1998 team here. Alan Armstrong was the man, though, wasn't he? Steve, take care, mate. Thank you for your support in the stream today. Unbelievable scenes. Che Adams is not going to get a hat-trick because he's just been substituted. Sam Adozie is on, which means Adam Armstrong will go and play up front in his actual position. Adozie will go and play on the wing, no doubt. Dortmund 4, Atletico Madrid 2. Unbelievable. PSG are also 3-1 up against Barcelona. So both the Champions League quarterfinals are 5-4 on aggregate. And do we have the promotion confirmed, Anir? It looks like Portsmouth have taken the lead to secure promotion. They only need a point tonight, but I think we're going to be saying big congratulations to Portsmouth in very, very short order. You're going to be returning to the Championship. When were Portsmouth last in the Championship? It's been a while. 3-2 Pompey lead. They are moving on up to 92 points. That's not right. Hasn't added up. Yes, no, that is right. 92 points. Manning, Rothwell, Harwood Bellis. We are in the friendly mode that we'd anticipated tonight after Southampton went 3-0 up. Although they are still coming forward, Saints, to be fair. Brady nicks that away. He's probably one Preston player tonight who's actually sort of had an all right game, hasn't he, Robbie Brady? Yeah, I thought that was wrong, Lee. Yeah, it's 94 points, isn't it? So they could still get the magic 100, Portsmouth, if they win their final 2 games. Now they've got the win. Ched Evans in for Milutin Osmajic. Evans is going to play just the last 12 minutes plus stoppage time of this one. He nearly had a run in behind straight away there, Evans. Decent header clear, though. Walker-Peters Cooley slides that up the line to Brooks, who cannot beat his man. Coming to the end of all the League One games, there's 7 of them tonight. Bolton 2, Shrewsbury 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Cambridge 0, Burton 1, Cheltenham 2. That's huge at the bottom. Oxford 0, Lincoln 1, Peterborough 2, Fleetwood 1. Are Fleetwood down? I can't keep up. I don't think they are. I think they're still in it. Port Vale 1, Wickham 2, and the biggest result of them all, Portsmouth 3, Barnsley 2. Portsmouth are about, in the next 5 minutes, to be promoted back to the Championship. Well, depending on how much stoppage time they're going to have there at Fratton Park. Pompey 3, Barnsley 2. Foul on the edge of the box on David Brooks, who looks very much like he fancies swinging this free kick towards the goal. As we enter the last 10 minutes of what's been a bit of a exhibition game, the second half, with possibly Preston knowing their number is up after the weekend loss to Norwich and being 3 down in this one, that it's going to be a bit too far back to make the playoffs, isn't it? Norwich on 71, Preston are going to end tonight on 63. So an 8-point gap with 3 games to go. A big goal difference advantage as well for Norwich would mean if they scored 1 more point in their remaining 3, Preston would not be able to make the playoffs. Free kick then, Southampton. Hit goalwards by Joe Rothwell. Over the bar. Nice line on it. Too high though, wasn't it? And over the bar. Should probably have a check-in on my match bingo card. Do you know what? I actually got a line tonight on match bingo. Look at that in the middle there. A goal in the minute ended in 9. Can't even think which one that would have been. Is there a goal on 19 or 29? Not a bad effort. I'm still potentially in. If we could get a yellow card in the 87th minute, 2 minutes stoppage time, that's never going to happen. And a headed goal for Preston. Yeah. If I get involved with match bingo, you can play for free. Play the Bingos game. David Brooks is just coming out. Suleimana is going to come in for Southampton. That pretty hefty bench they've got there at Saints. We believe, if Anir is correct, that Bolton is finished. Portsmouth have been promoted. Well played, Pompey. Back into the Championship. Hopefully we'll make some Portsmouth friends pretty quickly. Ooh, big stiff tackle there by Ledson. It's going to be okay. We'll look at the League One positions in about 5 minutes, I reckon, as this one drifts away towards stoppage time. But yeah, congratulations to Portsmouth, who are back. If you got any Portsmouth friends, send them our way to the channel. They're going to enjoy it next season, we hope. And we welcome Portsmouth and John Mousinho into the Championship next season. I'm sure there's a few guarantees already of any of the mid-table teams that can't make the playoffs or get relegated. Get the invitations for the party out. Here is Edozie. Charles. Walker Peters give and go with Suleimana. Suleimana tries to beat Cunningham. Cleared up the line. Will Keane back helping out. Will Keane gives it away, and very luckily, it bounces straight back to him. Preston can't keep hold of the ball. Southampton so dominant tonight. What's possession stats? Let me have a look. 76% throughout now 84 minutes. Goodness me. 2.42. Southampton's XG to 0.07 for Preston. It's been very, very dominant, hasn't it? About to be crowned champions indeed. Yeah, Bolton are level. Pompey are winning. Derby can't catch them. Just waiting for the final whistle at Fratton Park. And Pompey are going to be champions of League One, which is not a real quiz, as many fans and managers say. Get promoted and then worry about the title, but they're going to do both at the same time tonight. Portsmouth. Look at that hardy lot there. Little block of Preston fans there. Fair play. A, for coming down, and B, for hanging around in the second half. Proper supporters, that lot, I tell you. I hope their players go right over there and give them a good round of applause for coming down, because they've been completely outplayed. Most of them aren't watching the game, to be fair. Lewis, from a Derby point of view, Derby bar a big goal difference. We need one win to secure promotion. Yeah, 5 goal difference advantage to Derby over Bolton. It's a good result for the Derby fans tonight. Shrewsbury holding Bolton Wanderers tonight. Looks like Bolton are going to have to go through the playoffs again. I was at the second leg when they came across to Barnsley last season. All over League One I was last season, I tell you. Full time at Fratton Park. Well done, Pompey. Not only are they promoted, they are champions. Jay Adams is the man of the match with his 2 goals. Didn't manage to get the hat-trick in the second half. I've got to say, in the first half, I had one of the 2 Armstrongs was going to be my man of the match. But hey, 2 goals is 2 goals, isn't it? Nicely worked out to Edozie on the left wing. Into Smallbone. Edozie got taken out off the ball there. Smallbone dinks the cross in. Cleared by Cunningham. Charles scoops it up. Walker-Peters. Sulemana. Walker-Peters. Dink across. Just complete dominance this possession-wise and control of the game. The Pompey women got promoted as well. They've had a good week, haven't they? A big congratulations to Pompey, who we will look forward to covering on this channel next season, as I get asked every day. There you go. Look, someone's asked me right now. Yes, of course. This is a championship channel. The Blue Monday podcast will cover Ipswich Town in the Premier League were Ipswich to get promoted. Whichever way I win, don't worry about it. It's all good. Cover your bases. Foul inside the box, but on Alan Brown. There's going to be a free kick to Preston. We are coming up stoppage time. Let's have a look at that League One table as this game drifts away into the inevitable Southampton win that we've known for at least the last hour. Up in League One, as long as there's no ghosts in the machine in Foot Mob, which there can be, there is your confirmation. Look, 2 games to play at the top of the table. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is catching Portsmouth. 94 points. What a brilliant total. Can they get the 100 with 2 more wins? What an achievement. John Mousinho, first full season in management, has won League One. Down at the bottom, I think Burton and Cheltenham are still going. How about that? Fleetwood is still in it, look. Unless Burton can somehow win this game in the most dramatic fashion possible, because they're losing and we're in stoppage time. But everyone's still alive other than Carlisle down there. Fleetwood could still finish above Burton on goal difference. So still only Carlisle. A lot of people are drawing my attention to League Two, where I believe Mansfield are up and Stockport are champions. Dave Challoner and Stockport. Nigel Clough and Mansfield, the legacy of one of the greatest names in football, Clough. We are into 3 minutes of stoppage time, which puts an end to my match bingo game, sadly. But I hope you all enjoy playing tonight if you did join in. The Dozy. Little kick back there, and Preston are able to clear their lines. And yeah, it's just friendly stuff, isn't it now? As we do the necessary to get to the end of this game. Dozy again. Probably the most energetic player on the pitch, being he's a reasonably fresh sub. Harwood Bellis, Smallbone. Got about 1.25 minutes left of the minimum stoppage time. Silamana charging down the right wing. Not quite sure he's managed to keep that in. He's done well. Rothwell onto Manning, onto Edozie again. Edozie to the byline. Oh, nice little cutback. Half volleyed by Manning, blocked. Looked like it was on target, didn't it? Southampton make it 4-0 in the last minute of stoppage time. Charles tries to flick it on to Edozie. Charles. Walker-Peters. Manning. Walker-Peters. Preston just want to go home now, don't they? Walker-Peters out to Smallbone. Harwood Bellis. They've just gone back into centre half. We're at 10 seconds of minimum stoppage time remaining. Edozie into the box, cuts it back, and surely that is that. And there is the final whistle. Southampton 3, Preston 0. It was easy on the night for Southampton. They have got this daunting task, this run-in. They've got the games in hand. They've got difficult fixtures. They've got to go away to Leicester next week. They've got to go away to Leeds on the final day of the season. But Southampton have won 3 in a row. And I'm not saying they're back in it, but they are getting themselves back into this. Southampton 3, Preston 0. Give me your final thoughts. we can go straight to the Championship table just to flesh out exactly what I just said. Although I think with there only being one game, everybody knows the state of play at the top of the Championship. There it is. Ipswich top, 89 points, 43 games. Leicester second, 88 points, game in hand. That game is against Southampton. Leeds third, 87 points. They've also played the full 43 games. Southampton move to within 3 points of Leeds United. So I will reiterate what I've said earlier and at the weekend, since we knew those last batch of results. If Southampton can match Leeds and Leicester at the weekend, and then they were to win against Leicester in their game in hand, they will be level on points with Leeds, behind on goal difference because they're 12 behind, and they will be 1 point behind Leicester, and everyone will be on 44 games then. Ipswich would be on 43. Remember, if Southampton were to win their next 2 games, look at it, 84, they would be above Ipswich Town. So there's a chance going into that last mad week of the season where Ipswich play 3 times and everyone else plays twice. Ipswich could be 4th going into that week, but with the opportunity to swing things right back in their favour. So Southampton doing their job, aren't they, with the 3 straight wins. And if you look at the form of really everyone, I think that must be the only 3-game winning streak in the entire division at the moment, mustn't it? So nice and comfortable for Southampton. Your final comments in here. What are we saying? Squeaky bum time times 1,000. Absolutely. In the Champions League, Dortmund through against Atletico. PSG look like they're about to go through against Barcelona. And of course, big congratulations to Portsmouth in League One. They're definitely going to be in the Championship next season. Southampton don't want to be in the Championship next season. And if they can go coast to coast here, they've already won 3. If they can do a 7-game winning streak here, which would mean wins against Leicester and Leeds, they might not be in the Championship next season. Thank you so much for joining tonight. We're going to be back on Saturday lunchtime. It is Leicester versus West Brom. And I think we'll do Blackburn and Sheffield Wednesday also on Sunday. So loads and loads of good stuff going on. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for supporting the sponsors. All of that good stuff. And we will see you. Predictions with Sam for the weekend coming out tomorrow, and with Mikey for the Premier League on Thursday. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Southampton 3, Preston 0. Over and out.